Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter Watches TV, where I watch all the TV shows, and then I come over here and I talk about them. So if you like TV, and you like TV recommendations, and you want to talk about TV shows, come over here and hang out with me. Let's talk about TV shows. Okay, today I have another BritBox show that I want to talk about. I am like whipping through these BritBox shows. I love BritBox. My best friend Tanya got me hooked on the BritBox, okay? And I was talking to her last night. I was actually talking about her. Well, I was talking about her to somebody else. No, I was talking to her about the show that I'm going to talk about today, which is Pirie. When I started watching it, I called her Pirie. Like when I would talk about it on my vlog channel, I talk about it to other people, I'd be like, yeah, I'm watching this show called Pirie. But it just felt wrong because it's Pirie. And then when I would watch the show, do you ever do this? Like other people would say, you know, like, D.I. Perry. It sounded like Perry, like Perry. And so I was like, Pirie. And then I thought I had it. I was like, Pirie. And then she introduced her to somebody and she was like, Pirie. I was like, I cannot get this. I don't know. Karen. We're just going to call her Karen. Okay. But anyway, I was talking to my friend Tanya last night because she's the one that got me hooked on the BritBox to begin with. Because she would talk about these BritBox shows. She's like, oh my God, I just watched this 10-episode show last night. I just binge watched the whole thing. So last night I was talking to her. I got her on Happy Valley, which I've already done my reaction to over here. And so I was like, I just finished this show, this Karen Perry show. And she said something like, I think it's Karen. I said, I think I know. I just watched the show. I just watched both seasons, binge watched both seasons. And I listened very closely for her name. But anyway, she just got laughing. I said, tell me some BritBox shows to watch. Because I on my list, I have so many shows. I've got The Bay, Unforgotten. I've got so many shows in BritBox. I think I'm going to get Acorn TV too. So if you also have Acorn TV recommendations, put it in the comment section below. I love these British mysteries. Okay, I just have to tell you, these British mysteries have completely ruined US television for me, scripted television, because like my friend Tanya and I were talking about this. The character development, the writing, the mysteries, the murders, the acting is unbelievable. I mean, it is like, it's not like every actor is like trying to look their perfect best. You know, when they come on screen, it's like, I don't know. It's raw. It's emotional. I mean, every single one of these shows I watch, I just absolutely fall in love with. And so I started with Broadchurch because people had recommended Broadchurch to me. So I watched Broadchurch. I loved Broadchurch. Watched every episode, every season of Broadchurch. After that, somebody had recommended to me Happy Valley. So I watched Happy Valley. Happy Valley, and this is the other thing I like about these shows, is that the seasons are short. They're not 20 episodes. They're mostly 6 episodes. And a lot of them, like Broadchurch, and also, like, what's the other one that I did? There's some other show that I watch. Like, they'll end after 2 or 3 seasons. Like, they don't try to keep it going forever and ever and ever. And when I read to see why Broadchurch had stopped, what they said was they felt like enough had happened in this small town, and that, like, it's like Shetland, which I watch, we'll get to in a second. Like somebody, like Lisa, hey Lisa, if you're watching this, so watches my vlog, she commented because she watched it at the same time that I did. She said, how are there so many murders in this very small area? Which you kind of think about when you're watching it, right? But I love it that they just kind of like, you know, now Shetland had 9 seasons, the 10th season's coming out, I believe, this week. And I love Shetland, it could go on for 100 seasons. But anyway, so I started with Broadchurch, and then I finished Broadchurch. Olivia Colman's one of my favorite actresses alive, love David Tennant. Then I watched Happy Valley. Oh, I loved it. So Happy Valley is my all-time favorite. All-time favorite. And so, like, you get, you know, it kind of reminds me of, like, Mayor of Easttown. The only shows I feel like come comparable to it in the U.S. are, like, Mayor of Easttown and, like, Task that just came out with Mark Ruffalo. Those shows were fantastically done. Long Bright River. But a lot of those are based on books as well. Because the character development, for me, like, if you can sell me on a character, then you've sold me on the show. But, like, Happy Valley is about this, like, female detective. She's about my age. She lives with her sister, who is a recovering heroin addict, which I'm sober, so I relate a lot to that. And then she's divorced from her husband. Her daughter's passed away, but you don't really know why. She's estranged from her son. And then she's taking care of her grandson, who was her daughter's son that passed away. And then each season this is one of the things I love about all these, is each season they are like it's one major case, but there's a backstory that carries through each of the seasons. Happy Valley I watched. Well, then I started Shetland because people recommended Shetland to me. I binge watched all 9 seasons of Shetland. Loved it. Just did my review about it. So then I was like, I don't know what to watch next. Well, I had Karen Pirie on my list because I thought it was 3 seasons, but the 3rd season hasn't come out yet. They're not sure it's going to. And when I looked it up, if it's confirmed, I did not see that. So I noticed that it was only 3 episodes each season. I didn't look at how long the episodes were. And there were only 2 seasons out. So I was like, oh, I can watch this quick. Now, each episode is an hour and a half long, okay, on BritBox. So it's like a movie, watching each episode, but I didn't mind because I loved it. I also watched The Dublin Murders, but The Dublin Murders was not my favorite. It got a little supernatural-ish. Right now, I'm watching Three Pines. I'm almost done with it. I have 2 episodes. I did not like it at the beginning, but I love it now. And it is a Canadian show. It's a French-Canadian show, and I really, really like it. All of these are based on books. I think that's the other thing, is that a lot of these TV shows today, even U.S. television that is based on books and series of books, are fantastic. These Karen Pirie books are based on a series of books, which I might read. Okay, what I loved about the show, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it. So it's about this female detective, and her name is Karen Pirie. And at the beginning of it, she's dating this guy that she works with. They're both detectives, but they both want to be promoted. And so there's this new, they call it something. What did they call it on here? When I looked it up, they call it something, historic murders cases, which is basically like cold cases. So they're cold cases from long ago. Well, I am a huge true crime fan. You know that if you watch this channel enough. And I love anything to do with cold cases, okay? So she gets assigned to this cold case. And her boyfriend doesn't get the case. And so he's pissed at her about it, right? And she doesn't really understand at first why she got the job. Well, the reason why she got the job is that it is about this bartender that went missing. I believe it was like 19, the second one takes place, I believe, in 84. The first one, I think, takes place in 86 or 87. And it's a bartender that went missing that night from working in the bar, and then they found her body. 3 guys find her body later that night. And they all escaped a conviction, but the case has never been solved. And it all takes place in, it's in St. Andrews, this area near Glasgow. And so she gets put on the case. Well, the reason she finds out that she got put on the case is because there's this huge true crime podcast that's coming out that's being led by this woman. So from the police department, from a PR marketing point of view, they put Karen on the case because they feel like a female detective overlooking a cold case of a murder victim that was a woman, and it's also a podcaster that's a woman. They feel like from a PR point of view, it would be handled well. So then it becomes this thing between her and her boyfriend that becomes her ex-boyfriend about, and I'm not ruining the show because you figure it out pretty quick. Then he's kind of like, oh, it's cool. Everybody explained to me why you got the job. Then she's pissed because she's like, and rightfully so. She's like, she's very feminist acting and things like that. And very empowered woman, and I love her character as that. And she's like, her nickname is that she's a box checker, check the box off that she's a woman. And she's like, so that's why I got the job. Okay, well, I'm going to prove you MFers right or wrong, and I'm going to solve this case. What I love about these British television shows is where they start 15 suspects later, and where it ends up, you have no clue where it's going to go, right? And that's the same with this show. Who you suspect, I kind of, at the beginning of it, I was kind of like, because there's always 3 or 4 suspects that you're like, maybe, how would that ever work? But they are so fantastically done. The second case, and I don't want to ruin any of these for you, the second season picks up kind of where the first one left off, but a little bit later in time. And it's another cold case, and it's about this shipping heiress. Her dad's a shipping tycoon, and his company has political affiliations with environmental issues. And then she is kidnapped, and her son, who is his only grandchild, is kidnapped as well in 1984. And so it's about this cold case that she has to solve. Of course, the podcaster is picking up. She and the podcaster kind of are frenemies a little bit, but work together to kind of help them solve. They help each other solve the case. And I love the role of the podcaster coming in and helping the police and vice versa. I love that because I'm a big true crime person. So I love that they play off the podcast thing as well. I think it's genius for the show. Karen is such a fantastic character. just in her beliefs and her philosophy, standing up on her own and really challenging and bucking the system. Like, I love her. She is such a fantastic character. I hope the show comes, I mean, the newest season just came out. I hope the show continues to get renewed and has many more seasons. I think it's fantastically done. And I don't want to ruin it for you guys. I will say, like, I mean, unless I told you this is what I thought about the ending, both endings of both seasons I thought were just unbelievable. Very tense. I mean, I was like that watching the show. You will love the show. If you have other BritBox recommendations, please, I'm begging you. I want things, small towns, very scary, great character development, good mysteries. That's what I want. Put the recommendations in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow.